Hello everyone! Today we are going to take a look at the second generation of the Byrd Robin and the second generation of the lightweight FRN model of the Spyderco Dragonfly. Both knives are corresponding knives in Spyderco's two product lines, with Byrd being Spyderco's budget product line. As you probably know, there are other corresponding knives that are similar in size, blade shape, etc., like the Spyderco Delica and the Byrd Meadowlark, or the Spyderco Endura and the Byrd Caracara. I think it's an interesting approach to the knife market. If a high-end blade steel isn't that important to you, with the Byrd knives you can still benefit from Spyderco's awesome quality control, but at a much lower price. Pavlov Sandor did a comprehensive comparison on the first generation of the Spyderco Dragonfly and the Byrd Robin. I will provide a link to his review in the description box. I've never owned the first generation of these knives, so I'm going to mention only the most obvious alterations Spyderco did to the knives. The biggest change on the Robin is the grind. The original Robin came with a hollow ground blade. The Robin 2 comes with a flat ground blade. The lightweight FRN Dragonfly underwent some major improvements. To be honest, I've never liked the molded pocket clip on the first generation Dragonfly. The Dragonfly 2 comes with a left-right tip-up wire clip that we all know from the Spyderco UKP case, for example. Also, the G10 version of the Dragonfly always had the wire clip. Another feature of the G10 Dragonfly Spyderco applied to the new FRN version is the jimping on the spine and on the finger choil. By the way, there is jimping on the Robin too, even on this portion of the liners. Spyderco also replaced the so-called volcano grip with a bidirectional texturing on the handle. And speaking of the handle, it's no longer a pinned construction, it's a screw-together construction now, like the Robin. There is one thing I should mention in order not to compare apples and oranges. Only the FRN version of the Dragonfly is available as a second generation Dragonfly so far, whereas Spyderco upgraded all three versions of the Byrd Robin: the stainless steel version, the FRN version, and the G10 version. This, by the way, is a little bit more expensive than the FRN and the stainless steel models. Even without looking at the specs, you can already tell why these knives are corresponding knives. They are very similar in size and shape. And the specs confirm this. To make it easier for you to follow, here is a comparison table. The closed length of both knives is 84 mm. The overall length and the blade length are slightly different. The overall length of the Dragonfly is 141 mm. The Robin is 3 mm longer, it's 144 mm. The blade length of the Dragonfly is 57 mm, the blade length of the Robin is 62 mm. The cutting edge of both knives is identical again, it's 48 mm. The blade thickness is also the same, it's 2.5 mm. What may irritate you is the tiny swedge that Spyderco put on the spine of the Dragonfly. If you look at the blade from the top, it looks a little thinner than the blade of the Robin because of this swedge. But in essence, both blades have the same thickness. Both blades have Spyderco's typical leaf shape, and both blades are flat ground. As for the weight, the Dragonfly comes in at incredible 34 grams, whereas the G10 Robin comes in at 69 grams. Just for comparison purposes, the stainless steel Robin weighs 91 grams and the FRN Robin weighs 61 grams. So even if I had the FRN version of the Robin, the weight is almost double the Dragonfly. Which is no surprise. Here we have the first major difference between the Robin and the Dragonfly. The Robin comes with steel liners and steel backspacer, whereas the Dragonfly doesn't have any liners at all. Although the liners on the Robin are milled out, they add to the weight, of course. So the Robin might be sturdier than the Dragonfly, but it's also heavier. The handle material is not really a difference because, like I mentioned earlier, the Robin 2 is also available with an FRN handle. Speaking of the handle, both knives come with a lanyard hole, and I will eventually add lanyards to both knives because on a short handle like this, a lanyard makes the knife more comfortable to open. As for the opening mechanism, for me it doesn't make a difference if the hole is round like this or if it's shaped like this. Both work equally well. The pocket clip on the Robin can be mounted in all 4 positions. The pocket clip on the Dragonfly is left-right tip-up only. The second major difference is the blade steel. The blade on the Robin is made of the widely used Chinese steel 8CR13 MOV, which is a decent steel, but of course it cannot hold up to the toughness and edge holding capabilities of the Japanese VG10 steel Spyderco uses for the Dragonfly. No matter which knife you buy, both come razor sharp right out of the box. By the way, that's what the boxes look like. As for the locking mechanism, both knives come with a back lock. What's worth mentioning here is this little arc or dent, which is called David Boy dent, because he is the knife maker who came up with this invention. It is a section of the lock release that has been cut out to reduce accidental closing of the knife. At least that's the theory. I'm not sure if it's really a security feature. Someone on bladeforums.com wrote that the Boy dent is a solution to a problem which didn't exist, and I tend to agree. I've got other Spyderco knives without this dent, and I've never had any issues with accidentally unlocking the blade. But here it is, it doesn't hurt, so live with it. The fit and finish on both knives is excellent. The Robin is my second knife from the Byrd product line. I was already impressed with the build quality of my first Byrd knife, the Wings Slip-It. Everything is flush, no gaps, no blade play, everything is just as it should be. And of course it's the same with the Dragonfly. Good job, Spyderco. Who are these knives for? I guess they are for everyone who considers the Ladybug too small and the Delica too large, because the Dragonfly and the Robin are kind of an interesting in-between size. They are bigger than a keychain knife, but they are not full-blown EDC knives. So if you like small or mid-sized knives like these, you can't go wrong with the Dragonfly or the Robin. They also may serve as a backup knife or secondary EDC knife. I can recommend them both. If you don't mind the weight and if you don't want to spend too much money on a small knife like this, go for the Robin. If you want a real Spyderco knife with better blade steel, go for the Dragonfly. Thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.